let's talk about maturity, specifically maturity within video games. There has been this stigma associated with Nintendo consoles over the years regarding maturity. People make it seem as though Nintendo consoles are incapable of housing mature-rated and mature-themed games because Nintendo is a family-friendly brand. End of discussion. Well, hold on a minute. First of all, Nintendo is not solely a family-friendly brand. It has been home to several mature-themed games over the years. Sure, they have been known to censor some games in the name of achieving a less risque game. But for God's sake, the N64 was home to mature-themed games that Nintendo themselves even published. Yes, it is true that in the not-too-distant past, there have only been a handful of mature titles on Nintendo consoles. But that's not simply because Nintendo aims to keep the brand clean of any tarnishes like mature-themed games. It's because no major third-party developer has wanted to take time to actually create a mature-themed game for a Nintendo console. And therein lies the problem. The lack of a major third-party developer taking the time to develop a mature-themed game mixed with Nintendo's family-friendly lineup of Mario, Zelda, Splatoon, and Kirby, people get this idea that Nintendo just doesn't want these mature titles on their platform. This could not be any farther from the truth. The Wii lacked heavily in mature titles, and the Wii U had hoped to create a more palpable lineup of mature-themed games. However, only 3% of games released for the Wii U were actually mature in rating. And this is where the Switch can and should actually flourish. Nintendo is now finally coming out and encouraging developers to create and release these more mature titles for the Switch. And the Switch could not be a more perfect platform for these mature titles. With the Switch's added benefit of being able to play anywhere, aside from your TV, it makes these mature-themed games all that much more enjoyable. We're already seeing this with titles like Doom. No, not the original Doom, the all-new, all-gore Doom. And this isn't a cut-down version, this is the full-fat Doom released last year. And we're seeing that people love to play this game in this mobile format. The game remains the same, but has the added benefit of not being tethered to a TV or a desk or any of that. This is the same Doom I have for my PC, just in a seamless Play Anywhere package. Now, getting the full-fat Doom does come at a cost. It runs at a low resolution and at a much lower frame rate, but it again has the added benefit of being able to play it whenever, wherever. And that's the general consensus when it comes to this port. Yes, it's not as good, and yes, I can get a better experience on my PC or even the other consoles, but that is not the point of Doom for the Switch. The point is to be the same game on the go, and so far, it's probably the best mobile shooter ever made. Doom for the Switch is a testament to what kind of mature games we can see on the Switch. If we can make one of the best and most graphically demanding shooters work on the Switch, then the floodgates are open for all kinds of mature-themed games, and it doesn't stop there. In the coming months, and even days, we have a plethora of mature titles coming to the Switch. From LA Noire to Skyrim, to Resident Evil, to Payday 2, to Wolfenstein 2, and even more, intimate titles like Galgun 2. The only problem that remains is getting developers on board with creating, or at least porting, mature titles to the Switch. Now, I'm not just putting the blame on third-party developers. Nintendo needs to step up themselves and publish something with more mature themes. They need something similar to Conker's Bad Fur Day to convince people that Nintendo isn't just about being family-friendly. However, with developers like Bethesda, Rockstar, 2K, Ubisoft, and Capcom all throwing their hat into the ring in the first year, it should be highly likely that we will see more and more mature games coming to the Switch.